And welcome back to a great conversation we're having here on Jeff Koinange Live Ladies Night. I tell you, ladies light up the bench every time, especially when it's Beatrice Elachi, MP, Dagoretti North, and we have Hezena Lemaletian, all the way from Samburu County, and Gloria Oroba, all the way from Kisii, both of them now nominated senators. How about that? Oh, what a joy to see. But Hezena, must be intimidating because coming from a male-dominated society. I mean, in Samburu.
Yes.
Do you think you can make the changes you were telling us earlier? Those camels that are being distributed are being taken by the, the rich, and can you change? Can you make that change?
But of course I do, because one of my favorite quotes is by the CEO for Facebook, Sheryl Sandberg, and she says that I'm hoping that someday there will not be female leaders, but leaders, because we should start to be judged as leaders, regardless of what gender you come from, because your performance is what should state who is a leader and who is not. The male leaders have come before us, and they have not done much. So for me, I think I will definitely implement change, because I've already implemented a few things when I was a beauty queen. But now that I have an office, I have a voice, and I can defend my people very proudly and boldly. And I'm fearless, so I'm fearless. I know what I want, and I go for it.
Good.
I like that. I like that.
And I know how to go for it.
You know how to go for it.
I do.
By the way, the world's best nurse, wasn't she from Samburu?
No, Marsabit.
Oh,
Yes.
My bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Closer.
Closer.
Cousins.
Cousins, sorry?
Yeah.
That region is
They are
producing a lot of
Kushite,
talent.
we are Nilot.
Potato.
But we are neighbors.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this insecurity you talk about.
Yes.
I mean, you think, and the drought on top of that.
Right.
I mean, goodness.
It's a menace, because like I said in my statement at the Senate, in my own opinion as a leader, I think, and I have reasons to believe that it's not just normal and common banditry. I think it's a very well-coordinated crime. It's a cartel, and it could have global links, because you cannot explain in any way how people who are living in abject poverty, people who do not have proper infrastructure and good internet or anything, can afford weapons more powerful than those of the government. If you remember when His Excellency George Natembea was the regional commissioner for Rift Valley, he came out boldly. The regional commissioner came out to tell the whole country that the bandits have more powerful weapons than us. The police, the army, the GSU. Yeah. He was being genuine, because these people have M16s. The police don't have that. The people being deployed there don't have that. And you see, these people are known. They are just in a certain spot in Tiati constituency. Even the MP from Tiati constituency knows these people are in that particular spot. It's like a no-go zone. Why are they immune from the arm of the government? When disarmament happens, it's only the Samburu people who are disarmed, and the Turkana people. But you see, a bandit is a bandit, and a bandit is a criminal. These people from the Pokot bandits within the Tiati spot will run away. God knows how they get information, but they always get a heads up. They run away. When the disarmament happens, all other neighboring counties are disarmed. And you see, Baringo County borders Laikipia, Samburu, Turkana, West Pokot, and I think, I don't know if they board, but I think Laikipia most and Samburu, the largest part. So the other day they killed a former CEC in Samburu County, who was a peace ambassador from the Turkana community, and they killed the 6 soldiers right on the spot. But the government did nothing about it. And you see, growing up, I grew up facing these things. We would sleep with shoes under the bed, and my mom would be like, just let's prepare to run anytime. Gunfire was like fireworks growing up. How is it that in the 21st century, 10 years after devolution, we're still going through the same issues? If at all these male leaders were able to solve the insecurity menace, there have been peace campaigns, there have been peace caravans, but they're not helping us. They're not helping us. We just need like a ruthless, thorough action against these people because they are known by name, they are known by location, and the government should employ more intelligence to make sure that they are monitored so that when there is a disarmament, they do not escape to any part. No. Because at the end of the day, it's the women that give birth to these people. When your kids become bandits, you know them by name. So this change is going to happen by these women telling us who the bandits are. It's a collective responsibility of women who are in leadership, women who are back at home. Tell me something. Are there like 10 more like you out there in Samburu? Are there 10 more? Because if there are, you can make a lot of difference. You know that? I think there are, and we hope to inspire. I aim to inspire more. Yeah. Gloria, what do you aim to do? What is your...
Before I give you what I aim to do, I feel it is my responsibility to state that this government has actually come out strongly. And for the first time, we have listened to a president who is not joking with this issue. Mm. About insecurity? Yes, about the insecurity. And the statement that he came out and said, basically, Alisema, you know, in fact, we are all sitting and watching because we know it's just a matter of time. Because, of course, you know, with a security issue, you're not going to go on TV and say, we have planned, we are going to do ABCD. Okay. But the utterances that the president made in his speech about the insecurity issues, about the bandits, and about, I am certain, by the way, this year will not end. And it will disappear as if it never existed because, allow me to say this, it is, in fact, it's a well-coordinated industry. It's an industry. It's a cartel. Yeah, it's a well-coordinated industry. And I even believe that the reason it has been ongoing for so long is because these people enjoy some level of security from high offices. Mm. And you know, the easiest way to show Kenyans that indeed we have a new leader, we have a new president, we have new governance, is just to show us what is the difference. Because these people have been protected in the last government and the industry has been thriving. So we are actually waiting to see, do we have a new president? And, you know, I'm sure before December, we will be back here on this bench talking about, wow, for the first time in the history of Kenya, ABCD. So for me, I'm very confident in that.
Jeff, you know the wearer of the shoe knows where it pinches most. Mm-hmm. So the pastoralists from these bandit counties, or bandit-prone counties, are in a better position to speak about this. My sister here says that people in high places might have been involved in the cartel of banditry. But you see, the names mentioned and the people accused of sponsoring or knowing who these bandits are, being directly involved, have moved to Kenya Kwanza side. And they are known by names. The president went to Baragoi the other day, came out very boldly, castigating the banditry and even warning them with very harsh terms. But what happened? 24 hours when he landed in Nairobi, there was an attack. Some people were deliberately poking the administration's nose. What was done? Nothing. Jeff, as we speak today... No, not nothing was done. Today, wait, let me speak for my people.
Something was done.
Today, there was an attack. Yesterday, there was an attack. So I'm sitting in the chambers and I'm receiving reports. This morning, in fact, on the day the president left there, before 24 hours were gone, 200 goats were taken of the Samburu community, not far from Maralal town. That's our county headquarters. This morning, even yesterday, there was another attack. This morning, there was an attack in a place called Sepei in Pura. 47 cows were taken and one fresh university graduate was killed this morning. The community managed to chase away the bandits. In the afternoon, when we went for the second session in the Senate, there was another attack. Goats from 4 families were taken. So how can you tell me this is an emergency? This is a thorn in the flesh. The government is supposed to act with speed because human lives are involved here and Samburus cannot die like flies.
But you see...
Jeff, can I was...
Mheshimiwa, you want to say something?
Yes, let me say this. And I know my senator won't be very happy, but I'll say it. You see, we cannot be a country, as she says, in the 21st century, Ati Pokot comes, kills a Samburu, then the Samburu will follow, then the Turkana will come. I think we are not, I mean, for me, and this is now, if it was me, I think this is an area that needs serious thinking. Before even we get to Congo, where we are headed as KDF, I think we need to enter in these prone areas.
Yes.
First of all, you need to put a road. You see the way we dealt with our guys in Mount Elgon. And the moment it starts, I want to plead now with the people, because they are the ones who make government again leave. Why? You start crying. Oh, you are now killing our people. Can you leave it to be dealt with? And keep quiet until you deal with the matter. Because you have to open a road through these Pokots and Samburu, go through, let the army go there, put the road, put the infrastructure. Because why they take advantage? There is no infrastructure. Yet Kenyans have ensured, as she says with devolution, honestly, the monies that have gone to some of the counties there, I mean, it's unbelievable that today we are speaking the same language we spoke during the late Moi, I mean, during Moi's time. We are speaking today.
It's like we're living in the Stone Age.
Actually, I totally agree with Mweshimo. I don't know why she thinks I will oppose that, because according
you
to
need to be ruthless, as Gloria says.
But that is what that is exactly what I say.
And
a bandit is a bandit, regardless of what community they come from. If it is a Samburu bandit, let them be ruthlessly handled. If it is a Pokot or a Borana, let them be ruthlessly dealt with like a criminal, because they are criminal regardless of what community they come from. But when you see, like my sister here said, there are people whom have been suspected to have been covering and sheltering these people and giving immunity. Because how do you explain that their disarmament had happened, but these people still acquired guns? Where are these guns coming from? If it is the border of Ethiopia or Somalia and South Sudan, let it be open, let it be protected, let the government put people there to control and monitor the gun trade. Because I think another easy way to catch these bandits is to monitor the gun trade. Because you can trace guns. And these guns have, I'm told the bullets have numbers or codes. The guns themselves have codes. Where are they coming from?
But you see,
it means there is someone who is protecting these guns moving from wherever they are moving to these people. And if you read the Sentry report by the George Clooney Foundation, it delved deeper into how these small bandit attacks that we call community, it's a cultural thing, are very well connected to multinational corporations like Chinese meat farms. They are very senior people who are mentioned to be sponsoring. Who knows, because we are not far from the border, who knows if this whole entire circle is like one cartel operating? Because like early this year, we made a press statement with Samburu professionals, and we were shocked because bandits, let me now say just bandits generally, attacked a certain village in Samburu North, near Baragoi. It's called Marti. And 1,000 strong bulls were stolen. Strong, very healthy, fat bulls were stolen, and they disappeared into the thin air. The police, the army came there with the choppers. They were not traced. They managed to recover about 400. Where did the 600 go?
No,
Gloria, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I wanted to respond to the question. Sorry,
No question.
You had asked me a question about whether...
your vision. What do you want to achieve in this 13th Parliament?
I think I came with such a big vision and all the things that I was going to do. And very quickly I realized those were not realistic. Those were theories, and you enter Senate and then, you realize there's protocols, there's bureaucracies, and then you're like, if I even, at least now my vision, I've brought it down. If I even just come out with 2 bills, 2 that have just, gotten into law, then I'd be happy. So right now, my focus is on the ICT and the digital economy, because it's my strength, it's my background. I have a little history on it. So I have a bill on the Konza metropolis legal framework because they don't have a legal framework. It's actually operating as a PPP. So that's one of the bills. I have a bill on data protection. We have a serious issue, Jeff, by the way, in this country. We are allowing multinationals to make money out of our data. One of the simplest explanations, so that I don't go into details, is that we have communication authority. In order for you to be a data processor, anyone who collects data of any sort, like whether it is private, personal, biometric, whatever data, you have to go register yourself with communication authority. And then based on that, your business is taxed and some money is remitted to the economy. And can you believe that Facebook is not registered in communication authority as a data processor?
What?
Instagram, none of the social media, they are not registered. So therefore, one of the things is that because they are not registered by Communication Authority, they are not regulated by Communication Authority locally. Because they are not registered, then they owe no taxes. That's why we cannot, collect any single penny from Facebook. Yeah. And I want to speak authoritatively because I have a serious background with, that is my former employer. They are masquerading in this country, moonlighting, because they don't even have actual physical offices. They are trying to just find a way of how they can manage us and keep us low. But what essentially happens in every other country that they operate, in Europe, in the US, in wherever, is that number one, you go and register with the local authority that is a regulator of some sort. That would be Communication Authority. That means number two, you become a taxpayer, a tax-paying entity. So you'll be remitting some of the monies that you're making as an institution to, we need this money. You know, we need this money so we can pump it into the hustler fund and let people, you know. And then number three, because they are not registered and because they don't operate in this country as Meta, as their official, and it's not only Facebook, it's also Instagram, which is also owned by Facebook, WhatsApp, which is owned by Facebook, but Twitter, all these entities. In other places, they're registered, they pay taxes. So here, that's one of the things that I really honestly, like, for me, I would have achieved. Just having this conversation here is an achievement, but at the point that I leave Senate and I see that this is the tax that has been collected from these data processors and collectors who are actually they're using your information to be able to create some metrics of some sort and then collect money from all these other organizations in terms of spamming you with advertisements. So you should be able to be a beneficiary of that money that they are making. So for me, that's one sector that I really want to clean up. And it has caused a lot of ripples because Media Council is also partly somehow involved. My statements are just around their ICT and media and communication. But most importantly, I think if by the time I'm done with these 5 years in Senate, if in the 2027 general election, we have just 5 women vying for any other seat other than women rep in Kisii County, I think I can just go put my legs up and be like, thank you, God, I have put an impact. You know, we are laughing, but you know, when I vied, literally, when I stood and I started campaigning and whatever, other women started vying for MCA, other women started vying for MP. It was like an instant triple effect. And maybe they didn't go all the way to the end, but the fact that they were brave enough to say, hey, okay, I think I'm going to ask for this seat. So for me, it's not a lot, it's not too much, but the digital space, which is one of the promises that our president has actually put out there. There's a promise on the digital economy, and I want to be able to help him to make that money through that space so that we can pump that same money back to the hustler fund or back to the digital highway or, you know, the 100,000 kilometers that we want to ensure everywhere we have connectivity. So I think that is my niche and that's what I want to focus on. And of course, I'll try and participate in the affirmative action projects and plans because I'm nominated to represent women in the Senate. So I'm also trying to be active on that level. Nice. Yeah. Nice,
very nice. I didn't know that about Facebook and Instagram. They don't pay taxes.
They don't pay taxes to this country. Registered. By the way, we have summoned...
How many people pay taxes?
No, but people didn't know that.
And KRA is busy chasing the rest of us, huh?
Yeah. Huh?
A few of us.
But you know we are changing that, Jeff.
We are.
Yes, this government is. And that is why I'm telling you, I'm passionately saying that we are going, when we are talking about taxing people in that space, the online space, it's not the thing that somebody introduced, which is so useless, about taxing content creators. And no. It's about anyone who's a data processor or a data handler who's using your data. Even this recent Safaricom registration thing, which is illegal, by the way, with taking our pictures and what, that data is being traded by third parties. And I actually, they can't, it is factual. I'm telling you that they are trading our data with third parties, or at least third parties are engaging with the data that they are collecting. And you don't even know what they're doing. They're creating metrics. Now the AI industry is big. And you know they've set up many secret research labs for AI in Africa. And I would not be surprised that Kenya is one of the places. And those are, when you look at the parameters with which they're researching, some of the activities are illegal.
But you see, I'll agree with Gloria.
Yeah.
You see, the time we were doing exploration and research on our minerals, you tell me how many Chinese companies know what is on the underground for Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
A lot.
Many of them.
Yeah.
And so even this thing of Baragoi, we need drones. You can't tell me you cannot trace. Not in this digital era, surely.
Yeah.
We have to change, come out of arms first and just go and use the satellite to just get everyone first from top. So that by the time you are hitting on them, you know exactly where you are hitting.
Yes.
You know exactly. Yeah. So the police, the army cannot tell me you are still going to use your Land Cruisers. No. You have to go fast and just do the same way they do when they are looking for minerals. Why can't you do the same?
Underground.
Yes.
And they know what we have.
And they know what they have. We have. So how can us don't know even where our cows are headed?
I was just about to say, I mean, it sounds so primitive. I'm sorry, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
It sounds so primitive.
But that's why we are called marginalized counties.
It's true.
I think it comes with its own misfortunes, because like Mheshimiwa Beatrice is saying, we need more intelligence reports, accurate intelligence reports, because it's not that we've not been having reports, but they have not been accurate. So I'm hoping with the new government, especially the new CS and the new IG, that they will be focusing more on information. They say information is power. So you cannot go and attack people who know from a terrain or a forest like Kerio Valley what happened to the 42 soldiers. The army just left Nairobi, walked into Kerio Valley. They do not even know what this place, and all of them were killed. So if they had proper information, if they had proper intelligence, they will not have succumbed to that. We will not be going there every year to celebrate a memorial of something we would have avoided. And I'm glad because we've had several meetings with the stakeholders, and we are really hoping something will be done. But for now, we are just hoping.
And Jeff, before on the issue that you're talking about, I want to just give her a little bit of hope, and Kenyans. You know, one of the promises that this government, and it has started working on, is digitizing government services across board. And that includes the police service. Digitizing, it means bringing it to 2022, where you use technology. And I can tell you that there are very advanced talks of having investors coming in to set up a drone school and a drone, let me say the drone industry. So it will be a school where you can get your military trained. They'll also be assembling the drones and, a whole, end-to-end blockchain on the same. And I'm hoping, because the idea of digitizing government services actually came about from issues such as the insecurity issues, the land issue. When we were digitizing the title deeds and things, that's a whole other, because it causes conflict. We just saw the other day that the lady, the family that was actually evicted in Westlands. Yeah. So this digitization of services, it sounds very basic, but it cures a lot of problems, and security is actually one of it.
But you see, on that one of land,
yes,
I'll tell you, it is digitized in Nairobi. And if you'll go, you will know the owner of that land. And the owner of that land is not those who evicted. You will find it is still that mama. And so it is very sad. In Nairobi, by the way, even when I'm seated here, I will tell you, this land right now is for who? It's so easy nowadays. So as we move even in digitizing everything.
Yeah.
And I remember we have young people who have already gone for training for drones and all those. Do you know, even for them, just to do a movie, like you want to get into KWS and do a movie.
A film.
They are charged, so they told me the
Need a
fee
license.
itself is so expensive that they wonder, why did they go for this training?
Right.
And you can imagine, he's a young person who wants, he's in innovation, he just wants to bring out, his friends are about to come, assist him, just to boost him. But then when he walks into a government office, they tell this young person, he's wondering, so what was the purpose of the training? What is the purpose of going to college and do this? You're trying to run away from being employed so that you employ others. But still, so I know we have to bring in also policies to support young people. And where they can do something that you feel this is going to bring, it will add value to the country and it's going to bring employment and creation for young people, why wouldn't we just first give them that a grace period in terms of, we've given you 3 years to build yourself. Take a license, do this. After 3 years, we now come. I think we need that.
Like a grace period.
They need a grace period, absolute grace
I
period.
think we also need like a Marshall Plan and a multi-sectoral approach in handling issues like whatever is happening in the north, because like Mheshimiwa said, there is need for proper technology, proper infrastructure. Like if the government completed the road from Maralal to Baragoi, that would open up the region and expose people to better things and give them a better mindset. For instance, what happened with the Isiolo-Marsabit road, the Great North Road, when it was a rough road, there used to be a lot of attacks. When we'll go to school by lorry or bus, there are chances you will be stopped, robbed of everything. But ever since that road came, it's been like very rare cases of banditry attack on that road. So there's something that comes with the infrastructural development. It opens up the region and then reduces the marginalization, because I think that's the thing that makes people have that mindset that if you rob from me, I'm going to rob back from you. And that's as far as it is. Even
Do you even call it rob?
It's robbery with violence.
No, I was told you take my cows, I take your cows. They don't say it was rob.
No.
No. They say ng'ombe imechukuliwa.
Unaenda kurudisha.
Then unaenda kurudisha.
Yeah, because now kama serikali haiko, you know.
So they don't.
If there are places without network, like the Safaricom cannot even go and put their masts there because they are already there is insecurity. You can't secure them enough to be able to install the masts. So kuna place where if the cows are gone, they are gone completely. You can't trace them. Even if the government comes, they cannot. You know, and then there are places, the terrain is so rugged. So there is Kerio Valley and the Malasso escarpment stretches all the way to the north. And this is a place where you shoot, the bullets will not even get down, you know, because it's too deep.
Right.
The other end is Pokot side, the other end is Samburu side, the other end is Pokot side.
How do they pass this deep
They
thing?
know, because we are nomadic pastoralists. So our job is to walk the rough terrains.
In 2022.
Yeah.
We're still living like this.
Yes, the government has to do more in terms of infrastructural development, and also, and that way, if there is a road, people will be able to do trade and find an alternative means of livelihood. If there is water, the north has no water, but I'm imagining if there was enough water, people would venture into other means of livelihood like agriculture. People will be able to plant cabbages, and like I used to tell them when I was buying, nobody will shoot cabbages. They will not steal the cabbages.
Correct.
Right?
Didn't they say there was water under Turkana somewhere? Remember?
Oh, a lot of
They
water.
did.
Huh?
They
A lot
did.
of water.
It's still there?
It's still
But
there.
oil
And
was more valuable.
Even the oil, they were unable to, because of that conflict of everyone wanting to have one of the wells and all that. It has been unable to even support the people. You know, one of the saddest things that you feel in the north, whatever they want to call it, it is just unfortunate. You'll find women, Jeff, when they tell you their age, then you look at them, then you ask God, where are we? as a country. And then you ask yourself, then you have a governor who receives billions and billions, and when you look at him, you are wondering, so why is it your people cannot even put on clothes in this era? If we went to do civic education during the time we were looking for the Constitution, in the time of Kibaki, 2003, I remember we walked to a meeting with Nancy Baraza, our former Deputy Chief Justice.
Yes.
And when we landed, all of us just looked behind, because everyone was naked. And we were like, what? And so she just turned and told her, turn. And so we are turning, but these ones, they are wondering, why are you turning? And we had to do this civic education. So I'm looking at that time, 2003. And when I went back to campaign, inside, I met the women seated down, and they were naked. I told myself, why 1 trillion has entered this county, I don't understand.
$1 trillion.
$1 trillion in 10 years. $1 trillion shillings. That is how bad, and that is why you will wonder whether it will ever change or what will really happen. I mean, Samburu is a small county, so I don't want to talk about it, but I'm just talking about Turkana.
Good Lord. $1 trillion.
I think the
Yes.
problem is common across.
And that is just the 10 billion you receive every year. Then you have economic stimulus packages, then you have CDFs, then you have women reps, then all that money
And
there.
donors.
Then you have donors and everything. So, as we speak as a country, I think it is time we become very serious that if indeed we want our country to grow, then we should not be joking with public resources. The way we have joked for the last 10 years, it should never happen again.
Absolutely.
It is very sad. And this thing of us just refusing to be bold, that indeed we left local revenue to be collected by governors. I think it is time government collects. It doesn't take what is of that county, but at least let it collect and then say, we have collected for this county this money. And therefore, what we are giving you from the national government is cut and give them now what they need. Because that is where we have messed completely our country. Then we cry for debt. It's because we are misusing. In this country, Jeff, every day we spend 8 billion. We collect 5 billion, so we are in a deficit of always 3 billion in a day, what we spend.
Every day.
Every day in this country. So even when people talk and tell you things, remember, we spend 5 billion. We are supposed to be spending 8. But because we go into a deficit of 3, we spend 5 billion in this country.
A day.
A day. A day.
Wow. Let's go to the magic wall, folks. This is powerful conversation, powerful. And there's a lot of response, lots of response. Tweets coming in very thick and very fast. Truth Master, okay, that's what you call yourself, Truth Master. Ask the good women leaders, 1, what are they doing to change the narrative that women are their worst enemies?
When are we likely?
And 2, have they considered mentorship programs for young aspiring women leaders? And 3, when are we likely to have a strong woman presidential candidate? Okay. Women, you are your own worst enemies. What do you think?
I would like to take that one.
Gloria.
Why is it that when women are competing with women, they are referred to as enemies?
And the men?
But when men are competing with men, they're okay. They are their best friends. Because when you look at politics, for instance, the front runners in this past election, there were 2 men, right? How come we're not saying men are their own worst enemies? How come you did not back up one man? You know, one camp should have said, how come? So that narrative that women are their own worst narrative in itself is a lie. It's a lie. We're just, the same way men compete, you know, healthy competition is the same way women compete. Sometimes maybe not so healthy, but also with men, sometimes not so healthy. So competition is just, it's competition. So that narrative does not exist. And let them remember, anytime they say women are their own worst enemies, they should now reflect, who are you competing with? You're also competing with, how come you're the enemy of that man? Exactly.
How about question 2? Are you considering mentorship?
Yes, absolutely. Of course, I have mentorship programs through the Pastoralist Sports Initiative.
Yeah.
It's purposely for mentorship. So we use sports to bring people together, because what I realize with my generation and people younger than us is that they need a motivation even to go for mentorship. So we use sports as an avenue to bring them
to that. That's what
together.
I want to answer.
Go on.
Right.
So, mentorship. You see, in our days, which was part of mentorship, Jeff, but maybe we never used to know it's mentorship. But you would come. I know Professor Wanjiko Kabira, who is my very good mentor, taught me one thing. You can't be saying you need a job, and in this job, you don't want to even volunteer, even just for 1 month, just to get to understand this job. And that is the challenge we are facing today. So somebody comes and tells you, can you mentor me? And you agree. But then 3, 4, 5, they'll start saying, I always go, they never give me anything. If you are waiting to be given something, that is a job. That is not mentorship. I want to be very honest.
Yes.
Because you mentor, we worked for 1 year with Daisy Amdani for Prof. We never stood to her to ask, give us this. It was our duty to go and look and get what we want. But she gave us space to learn how to work in women organizations, to be able to go. And when there are trainings, she will send you for the training, you'll be paid because you've gone to train. Right. But when you're there, you continue doing what you're doing. And I want to appreciate that I picked university students in 2011. And for sure, they volunteered. They never asked me until we came. When I entered the Senate, I had to go with them. I have worked with them. I know even in the constituency, they always ask, who is this Mwangi? These are young people who volunteered 3 years. No pay, no nothing. Whenever you get something, and they were doing their things in campus. As long as they had somewhere, they would come and go back to campus. And so when anyone wants mentorship, do not go there with the mentality that there will be money. But go there that one thing, doors will open, you will gain experience, and there's no way when I'll see something that needs to assist you that I'll block you. Definitely, I'll open that door for you.
Good.
That is the best mentorship you can give someone.
Okay, last question that they asked, that Truth Master asked, when are we likely to have a strong woman presidential candidate? Gloria?
They are here.
Is that you?
What is the 5 years after 2033 is what? I will vie for president. You know, we are laughing because
2037.
Can I tell you something? In 2019, when I came back, I did my first ever interview with Gerald Bitok. And we didn't even have anything. It was a Facebook interview. It was like, he had nothing. And he asked me, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? And I said, I'm going to be in government. I'm certain about that. So I keep telling him, please don't after your clip, because, you confess and then...
No, that one I agree.
So you're going to run?
So, 2032, 5 or 10 years after...
You see? I was very right, yeah?
Yes.
I'm going to run. I'm going to vie. Because, and people are asking, why not now? Now, I'm just still even learning my standing orders in Senate. So I need to learn how the House operates. I get some mentorship. So, no, now I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
How about you?
Yes, of course. I've seen a lot of Kenyan youth. I'm representing the youth in Senate. So whenever they see me speaking, they're like, we are seeing a deputy president, a future deputy president in you. But I welcome the idea. And I think because I'm a minority and we have a long way to go as a country, we have first of all to debunk the poison of tribalism across the whole country. When we have a mature nation strong enough to be able to elect a minority person for presidency or deputy, then I think that is the time I will be ready and ripe. And maybe it will not be too far from now.
Very good.
God willing.
I like that. I like that. Well done. Ranto. Okay, that's your name. Such a young crop of intelligent leaders on the rise. Pongezi to these ladies, breaking the glass ceilings to bring solutions and new energy to leadership. Well done. Pongera. Very good.
you.
More tweets, thick and fast. Mwema Alvin says, the state of insecurity in Samburu County is something that needs a lot of concern from both leadership houses, Parliament and the Senate. Let the government deal with this before sending troops outside the country. You just said that, Mheshimiwa.
Yeah.
We're sending troops to DRC. We've had troops in Somalia
Correct.
since 2011.
Before we do that, can we
these
go to
are
Samburu,
internal terrorists.
Turkana and Pokot? Then now we can...
And the country must deal with internal terrorists before it can demonstrate its capacity to deal with external terrorists.
Absolutely.
And offer help to other people, you know.
Good point. Jaka Kai says, I am watching this and I am an aspiring woman politician. I have had my tears, but I can tell you 2027... fears, sorry, not tears, fears. But I can tell you, 2027, I will get out there and go for what I want.
Nice.
I'm gonna be shameless.
Dare to be shameless. Just be shameless.
Nice. Whams says, Honorable Hazena, please really
Rally.
rally like-minded leaders like yourself and work to end this banditry menace once and for all.
Totally. I intend to inspire a change of mindset among our youth, because these are going to be the people who will say no to banditry. Because in our communities, it's the Morans, the young people, the teenagers, the youths that go out there to fight. It's not the Wazes, it's not the old people. So if we can impact a change of mindset among these young people, then we can have more leaders in future.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Edith Mwirigi says, great conversation right there, ladies. The journey was scathing to some of us. We stay unbowed. The decision table cannot be complete without women. Represent us.
And if they don't allow us on the table, we are going to be like Millie Odhiambo. We are going to stand on the table and possibly pee.
Wanjala A. Majimbo says, we are proud.
Just say that.
We are proud of our female leaders, but we would like them to correct the stereotype that because men have been leaders for a long time, then the problems Kenya faces are possibly a result of their bad governance.
True. And I've always said, I wish we can just be given 5 years, this country, 5 years.
That's all you need.
Come and take it and you'll see how Kenya will be. 5.
You would turn it around.
Oh, yeah.
I agree. I totally
Trust me.
agree.
5 years. And you just give these women, without questioning, just let them work.
Yeah.
They will work day and night, Jeff. This thing called Samburu Siji, what, hey. You cannot, by the way, you won't hear it. You won't.
Let's get some closing thoughts. It's a great conversation. Let's start with you, Ezra.
So I've just gotten a message from the principal of my former high school, my only high school, St. Teresa's Girls Wamba, and he tells me the girls are watching us live.
Is that right?
And they're actually in school, it's a mission school, and they are asking me where I got the courage to speak in
From
large
Wamba.
crowds.
From
So
Wamba.
I'm telling them it's from the thorny savannas
That's
of Wamba.
Yes.
And they're asking me what the secret is. So I would like to tell them that, yes, I used to be a very shy girl in high school. And I learned how to speak, especially during debate sessions in school. And what I discovered is if you fear looking at the crowd, if you are intimidated by the crowd, you look at the clouds. So even in those Azimio rallies, I used to look above people's head and look at the clouds and say whatever is in my head and heart. Yeah, so I would like to tell the young ladies in this country and the young men too, to be bold, to be assertive, and to follow their dreams, regardless of who is ahead of them. They can always create new paths or follow in the paths, but like they say, a leader knows the way, shows the way, and leads the way. So in whatever capacity they are, they should lead the way always.
Are they watching you all the way from Samburu right now?
They are in a place called Wamba, Samburu East.
Good Lord.
Very remote part. And they should be asleep, but they are watching us
Thanks
live.
to Jeff. Thanks to Jeff. Thanks to Jeff. No. It was good for them to watch.
St. Teresa's girls.
Teresa's girls.
Yes.
Mentoring.
we used
That's
to have
mentoring.
small
Mentoring
schools.
from here.
Yes.
Yes, and I think actually about mentoring, what people don't understand is that mentoring is a process. You cannot say you are mentored by someone who is away from you, but mentoring is someone who pulls you, nurtures you, polishes you up, teaches you the ways, and holds your hand sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a one thing. It's not like there is something else they say, like having a role model. A role model is someone you can watch. Like I have Ilan Omar as my role model. Sophia Lepushirit is my role model and mentor because they walk the journey with you. It's about polishing who you are, how you handle issues, how you relate, interpersonal skills, and how to deal with situations.
Absolutely. Big
Thank
shout
you,
out to
Jeff.
the young ladies at St. Teresa's in Wamba.
Wamba, Samburu.
Gloria, closing thoughts.
She was just talking about role models, and I was like, yeah. That's actually it's you need a role model because without one, there's no vision somewhere. I want to ask young ladies who are trying to join politics or get into this space. First of all, let them go and look at the story of a lady called Ingrid Betancourt.
Betancourt.
I'm telling you, I've read that book like, I don't know how many times. And she dared to be shameless. So really, my message for tonight is not going to be long with a lot of theories. It's just simple. You know, for me, you need to just keep going. That's one thing. And by the way, you know, we did a show with you, and you kept on saying, just keep going. And one of those documentaries for BBC, you need to keep going. Because at the end of the day, you're better off crawling, as long as you're moving from point A to B. Hata mtu akikwambia sasa you've been vying for MCA for 15 years, keep vying.
Keep
vying because at least
you're vying 20 years.
At least you're moving. So for me, just keep moving as long as you're not stagnant. Just keep moving. There'll be some level of growth, and then really honestly, this phrase, if there's anything that any woman who wants to join politics can do, dare to be shameless and just dare to be shameless. Full stop.
Bye.
That is it. That's my message.
You know, I just got a message from Homa Bay Governor.
Yes.
Oh,
Gladys Wanga.
Wanga.
my governor.
She's a great woman. Great woman. She says,
Great woman.
Congratulations to the girls for me. Very well done. Salimia Elachi Sana.
Mesalimika, my governor. I know you are doing well.
Yes.
5 years, they will see Homa Bay, a different Homa Bay.
By the way, those are the counties. The counties led by women. All eyes on you. Yeah. Because that thing we are trying to say, let us see the difference in governance, you know, leadership by women.
Yes.
We are looking at Sicily. We are looking at Anne Waiguru again. We are looking at Gladys Wanga. We want to see the difference in those counties.
Yeah. Give Anne kudos. Anne Waiguru.
We are also looking at Meru, by the way.
You must also survive.
Anne,
yeah.
But let me tell you, Kirinyaga, they were lucky to get that girl. Because she transformed her first 5 years, and she will leave Kirinyaga on a different trajectory. Love her, hate her, but I love her for one thing. Anne believes in what she does, and she loves transformation.
And Gladys Wanga will transform Homa Bay.
Oh yes.
She has already launched a factory.
Even the Meru governor,
She's getting a hard time. Kawira.
she's gonna
she will
survive. She'll survive.
All Kawira.
We are rooting for her. We are rooting for her.
Yeah.
For me, one, I salute, she's very assertive, that this is the direction, yes. But I want to plead with her. The two governments work together so that you get that posterity. And so you must get a way
A working
of
formula.
working with your MCAs so that they pass your budget, so that you are able to get your CIDP right, and just go down with them and do development, because there is no way you will work alone. There's no way. That one I want to tell
Jeff,
my
Governor Mandago once told me, he's one of my mentors, by the way. He once told me, you can get elected in one way, but you won't stay elected with that formula.
No.
Getting elected is one thing. People want to see that assertiveness, that it's not even assertive, that firmness. But once you're in office, there has to be now a way to govern.
Yeah.
And now that's where perhaps maybe we have little failures, because as women, we are always defensive and everything. And maybe that is, but she'll survive. She's going to survive.
Survive, I know she will. But I just want her to deliver.
Right.
And I want her, for people to remember her leadership. And so work, try. You're a mother, you bring harmony. You try and do not bring in a lot of gaps that will make you fall.
Yeah.
But bring in everyone so that you are able to move to your next level.
And I'm hoping that the focus should shift away from making it an issue of her husband. It should be an issue of her performance. And I'm also hoping that by working with MCAs, it does not mean constantly maintaining these MCAs under a certain budget or bribery of sorts.
But you see,
because
I will say this, they are elected. The budget, they pass for you the budget. Go and do the...
You need a working formula, however way you look at it. You need a working formula, yes.
But even as I finalize, it is for all of us. You know, there are a few things that we need to come back and ask ourselves as a country. Number one, our values. That is what is affecting also our young people. That is why your child, you will send him to go and take an ID, and he will, when he arrives there, he calls, I have arrived, so which office do I go in? And you're like, excuse me? But you'll find another parent saying, oh, let me call. I won't call. No, you're 18, you go. The same way I walked into school, into campus, go. So you've been in campus. Just walk,
figure yourself out.
With respect, just say, I have come for my eye. So parents are also contributing a lot
being
in the challenges that we are facing today.
Real quick, before we finish, Hazena and we're talking about insecurity in the counties, right?
Yes.
In your inner city,
yes,
of late,
we are being mugged.
You know?
Burglary.
Very badly.
By Bodaboda riders.
Yeah, everyone.
Everyone.
Yes.
I mean,
but this is what this is what I'll say, and this is what I will plead with the governor. It is important to give registration to all your bodabodas. It is important to give them, whether you want to call it a registration or a license, the stages. Know the stages of your bodabodas, because you can't just have today here a stage, tomorrow 5 are here. No. If they were told to go in a circle, let them be in a circle, and in that circle you will know this circle is the one that this stage belongs to. The same way, this is a transport sector. It has to function the way your matatus function. So if matatus are given stages and they are given places where they are supposed to, why can't you just do that with your boda? Even if you want them to be in CBD, then allocate them places where you know we will find you here, not 5 here, 7 on a corridor, 8 there. That is what has messed completely. And that is why women are being mugged. Everyone is crying. And so we need to reallocate and give them numbers so that even when they have their challenges, because I know they'll come and say the police is harassing us. I want to tell the bodabodas, get your helmet right. Get everything of you. You need a helmet, you need your license, you need to have registered, you need your reflector jacket that reads your bodaboda sako. That is what, and I want to thank the ones of Kilimani. Kilimani bodabodas are clear, they even have an office. They even have an office where you will find them. And they know this is our industry, we must protect our sako. But these things of small, and then you find 3 people, 4 young people on a bodaboda, that's the time one is used to mug, the other one is riding, and that's how things are just moving. And so I would wish to really request the county inspectorate. We are not saying harass, but we are saying, can we reorganize it to be in order so that people do not come and take advantage of the disorder. And so everyone is just coming with their bodas, and at night I hear others hire. Why are you hiring a boda? Then if you have a boda, you are sharing 2 of you. Both of you must have the numbers. And this one will show this is the time I pick my boda. I take my boda from morning to this time, and then I give my other colleague who is going to look for from 2 to this time.
Right.
But there are many other things. There is garbage. There is an issue of reorganizing how even people are doing trade within the city, because many people are saying when they are coming out of work, it is impossible to get to the matatu. So I'm hoping they can reorganize for it to be in order, and also Kenyans must also appreciate order. You know, every time we talk of order, it's not just about the county doing it. It's also about you as a Kenyan. You have gone to do trade. Why would you litter where you want to do trade? Why can't you pick up your garbage in the evening and leave the town clean as you go? Because those are some of the things that are just making things so impossible. But then, don't forget, Jeff, we have a very, very clear, solid waste bill, act. We have an act of air pollution. And I'm hoping now the county can be able to enforce. Because if you have an act of solid waste, why can't you just ensure every constituency has its own holding place of waste? And so let us start also sensitizing. We are talking of climate change, COP27. One of the things we must do in Nairobi is to deal with our pollution, but also Nairobi River and garbage. And if it is the markets, go to India and bring the new technology. You put, every market must have its own bin of throwing its garbage, but that garbage it goes through a renewal that becomes biogas or something, so that we stop all this menace and stealing of money, garbage being, you know, in Nairobi, garbage can arrive to Thika Road, and it will turn to be something else. And by the time it gets to Dandora, the guy will tell you he has taken 6 trucks. And you are siding because you have colluded, all of you. Yet it is just 1 truck. 1.
Goodness, ladies, I could talk all night, but we'll have to leave it at that.
Leave.
Yes.
But I want to finish by really pleading now that I think His Excellency the Prime Minister lost. He has moved on. I think this abuse every day, it's not going to help all of us. It makes things so difficult for nothing. We don't need to abuse him. At one point, you know, God has a season of everyone. And sometimes it will be important for every person to understand the seasons. But I always tell people sometimes they refuse to get into the realm spirit and understand there is a season of everything, but there is a season also you don't need to abuse. You let it, the same way you say God did this, same way God is going to deal with this. So let's get out of this abusing.
I thought you were going to finish by campaigning for Winnie Odinga. I was like, this is the plug-in. This is the plug-in.
Well,
plug.
First, we stop the abuse, because you imagine if it is your father, and he's a father of many.
No, I think you should turn the narrative.
And he has...
Don't breathe life into it.
No. I'm just saying, anyone who was in campus, the time Moses was in campus, they know. Baba stood with them like a father. He stood with them like a father.
And he's a mentor to all of them.
And he made them finish their campuses. So I am not saying I'm just saying the abuse. I love Trump today because the Democrats continued just abusing Trump. And look.
He might come back.
Oh, yes.
He might come back.
That's why don't concentrate so much on something that God has given you. Concentrate what God has told you to do. You're in a season where God has said, I have given you a position and you must bring change.
All right.
And that's it. Take your position the way God has given you. Move with it. For Winnie is going to go to Iyala. He's a young
That is the
woman,
narrative.
like
that is where we... That
and
is the thing.
There's nothing going around it.
Yes.
And bringing us stories of, she is coming as Winnie. And I want Kenyans to know Winnie. She has worked. Yes, she's the daughter of the Prime Minister. That does not mean she does not deserve. Because in this country, many people have taken their daughters as ambassadors. They have worked in ambassadorials. Sons of people have gone to Iyala.
We have to congratulate all of those candidates who made it to the shortlist for Iyala. The nominees of Iyala. Yeah. And we must recognize, and I say this with all due respect, that at least there's an intentional approach by Kenya Kwanza to meet the 2/3 gender rule in each and every step, including the nominees of IALA. So, and also,
They are women.
in terms of
women will
merit,
go through.
we must recognize, and that's why I was saying, you don't take this time to do other things. Take this time to plug
No,
in.
I was
for
not
winning.
doing other things.
Because right now the plug-in should be by merit, yeah? To go and represent your people by merit, not by any other form or by any other name. It should also be that we have seen the work you have done, and so for those nominees that who have been put there, we are saying that at least Muki campaign with some level of you know.
But I met one young man from
we have
Kenya
to end this. We have to end this.
No, we are ending. And I ended it in a spiritual way. Let us stop abusing. I ended it.
Beatrice, Elachi, thank you. Thank you very much.
Always giving us an opportunity.
Great.
As women, we always appreciate.
And if they're watching us in Samburu, I mean, that's
great.
That's the end of the world, the end of Safaricom network.
From Denmark.
So, yeah. I remind them.
Even in Denmark.
No, from Bobasi constituency. They're also watching, and the other ones from Denmark.
I know.
You know, they're
like, that's our guy.
And Dagoretti North, of course.
Oh, we are in Dagoretti North, definitely. And I want to thank them, and I want to appreciate them. And I want to tell them to be very patient about CDF. Because I can see them on social media.
Yeah.
Be patient, it will come. We are just clearing and cleaning up.
Great.
Yes,
What more can be said, folks? Great conversation. Ladies' night on the bench. And like Beatrice Elachi, MP for Dagoretti North says, just give them 5 years.
Yeah.
Give the women 5 years.
5 years.
They'll change this country.
We will.
I totally agree with you.
They changed the world.
Totally agree with you. You changed the world.
They changed the world from the beginning with Eve.
With Eve, Jeff.
With Eve.
Oh, yeah. That is why you always have a
paradise.
You know?
You guys.
It just took one thing for a woman to change the whole
That's how
system.
we can change.
Yeah, we would have been
If we were
naked in the
able.
Garden of Eden eating fruit,
Change your mind.
collecting flowers.
Are you seeing that weakness, Jeff?
I can see it. I'm not going there.
That's why women have a strong...
And men have never understood what happened since then.
Never.
No.
They're still blaming the woman, but they took the fruit. they took the bites.
That's a nice one to go and
Love
sleep.
Keep tweeting, folks. This conversation is amazing. At Koinange Jeff, at Citizen TV Kenya, the hashtag JKLive. Thanks so much for watching us all the way from Denmark to, what's that constituency?
Bobasi.
All the way from Bobasi constituency. And then our in-laws in Denmark.
Wamba.
Baragoi.
That triangle.
Yes.
And of course, Dagoretti North.
Dagoretti North and across the country.
And across the country.
Always have very good supporters. I want to thank them.
Good night, good luck.
Night.
God bless all our women.
God bless.
And our country.
Kenya.
Asante.
God bless the women.
Yes, indeed.